quite literally, whether your party is in government or not, having donated what it termed as experts. Is ODM the party you, I believe, held its leadership position in an acting capacity in government?
At a critical time in recent history in Kenya, the nation was falling apart. And the government itself needed support and ideas on how to sustain stability in the nation. So our party leader had discussions with the president and said, Mr. President, things are not going on very well. The president also agreed things are not going on very well. At this point in time, countries usually, the opposition and the government usually come together. In the West, it was during wars, like the First World War, Second World War, and so on. The Labour and the Conservatives come together and say there's something much more important happening in our country, war. We cannot afford to have divisions in parliament. Let's discuss that and deal with that first and foremost. In our case, for example, the UDA government found that the problems facing it, that it needed the opposition to support, to help it. So our president and our leader our Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, the leader of the ODM, came together and discussed what needed to be done. And they agreed on a few points where they can collaborate to stabilize the country, to ensure that the country delivers service to the people without conflict. Okay. So that is what happened. It was a collaboration necessary for the times, way before the elections. When the elections come, we as a party will definitely run candidates as a party.
Prof, will it be fair to sum up your response to my question as yes, ODM is part of the government?
My answer is the following. The ODM is participating in government without being in government. It is participating in government. It's not part and parcel of the government. The government was formed by UDA. We can't change that. That is something that will only be changed after 5 years when elections are held. But at the moment, given the crisis that the nation was faced with, our leaders saw it wise, and the president saw it wise, that they can work together until these problems facing the country are sorted out, and the country is stable enough to go to the election as one nation.
And Governor, you say at the right time our party will field candidates. Is that to suppose ODM will field a presidential candidate to challenge President William Ruto in the 2027 polls equally?
As of now, that is the position. Because it's a party, it's an independent party, it has the right to field a candidate. If indeed there does come discourse towards the elections to do otherwise, we wait to cross the bridge when the time comes.
But as of now, ODM will field candidates irrespective of the position they will seek, including the presidency.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Governor, one last question perhaps. At the funeral of the late icon Fiob Seo, you drew a link between femicide and the rise in Airbnbs, and you gave a classical case of what you see in Kisumu. You said, and I quote, at the burial, you said, femicide is increasing in Kenya at geometric progression. We have a theory in Kisumu County, the increase of femicide is associated with increase in Airbnbs. You asked the president and the former prime minister to restrict and control the opening and use of Airbnbs.
Not to restrict and control, I said there should be a law, there should be a management of Airbnbs that doesn't make them easily accessible by those who commit femicide. In other words, we should know in Kisumu which apartment in that block is used for Airbnb. And that should be registered by the Kisumu government. That we have this apartment is Airbnb, that one, and so we know the number of Airbnb that exists in our city. Secondly, when people use Airbnb, it should not be a mysterious thing. It should be a very open thing. If there's record that somebody has used Airbnb for 2 days, what is there to hide that information? It is the ability to hide the information that leads to people using Airbnb in ways by which they perhaps could easily go against the law and commit such crimes as femicide.
All right, and Governor, as you participate finally in the devolution conference, the 9th for that matter, what would you say is the success story of devolution in Kisumu under the governorship of Professor Anyang Nyong'o?